I was really shocked with what I saw during my experience with an Indian train. And to be honest, as a Chinese person, someone who has traveled on some of the fastest, most advanced trains in the world, I can tell you, I have never had an experience quite like this. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why. There's one moment on this journey that genuinely stopped me in my tracks, and I'm going to save that for later, because you need the full story first to understand why it hit me the way it did. Let's start from the beginning. Now, before I even boarded, speed was the first thing on my mind. Coming from China, we're used to a certain standard. If you check the actual rankings of the fastest trains in the world, you'll see names like the Shanghai Maglev, doing over 400 kilometers per hour. You'll see Japan's Shinkansen, France's TGV, Germany's ICE. These trains are built for one thing: raw, blistering speed. So naturally, I did not expect India to compete with any of that. And I want to be honest with you, because I'm not here to exaggerate. Very soon, India's trains are going to challenge Japan or France for the title of fastest train on Earth. That's just the truth, and you can look it up yourself. But here's what surprised me. I boarded a train that was supposedly one of India's newer, faster services, and the speed was noticeably higher than I expected. It wasn't maglev level, it wasn't bullet train level, but for a country where I assumed everything would move at a slow, congested crawl, it felt fast, faster than the stereotype, faster than what most people outside India imagine when they hear Indian train. What I will tell you is this: my expectations were low, and India adjusted them upward in a way I did not see coming. And if this is what they're already doing now, I genuinely believe the next generation of Indian trains could surprise the world even more. And speed was honestly the least surprising part of this trip. What came next is where things got interesting. If you've never seen an Indian train station at rush hour, I need you to picture this. Movement. Everywhere. People carrying luggage on their heads, families running with children in their arms, vendors weaving through crowds balancing trays of food like it's nothing. In China, boarding is quiet, orderly, almost silent. Everyone lines up, everyone waits their turn. Here, it was organized chaos. And I mean that as a compliment. There was a rhythm to it that I couldn't explain at first. People who looked like they were about to miss the train somehow always made it. Nobody was panicking except me. I remember standing there thinking, how is anyone going to find their seat in this? And that's exactly where the next surprise came in. Once I got on and found my seat, I braced myself. Based on everything I'd heard before this trip, I expected the worst. Broken windows, dirty floors, uncomfortable benches. That is not what I found. Depending on the class of the ticket, the interior was actually clean, functional, and in some sections, genuinely comfortable. There were berths for sleeping, fans running, charging ports at some seats. Was it luxury? No, but it was not the horror story I had built up in my head either. This is the part where I started to feel a little guilty, honestly, because I had judged this experience before I even stepped on the train, and it was already correcting me. But comfort wasn't just about the seats. It was about something else entirely, something I didn't expect a train ride to give me at all. If you've never experienced a moving market, an Indian train will show you one. Every few minutes, someone walks through selling chai, in small clay or paper cups, calling out in a rhythm that almost becomes music after a while. Then comes the snack vendors, samosas, biryani, packaged snacks, someone selling fresh fruit right off a tray balanced on their head. In China, food service on a train is usually a trolley, a menu, a transaction. Here, it felt alive. It felt like the train itself had its own economy running through it, one car at a time. I bought chai from a vendor without even really planning to, and that one small cup of tea ended up being one of the most memorable parts of the entire trip. Not because of the taste, because of what happened right after I bought it. The moment I paid for that chai, the man serving it looked at me and asked, "China?" I nodded, and within seconds, 3 or 4 passengers nearby leaned in, smiling, curious, asking questions about where I was from, what I thought of India, what Chinese trains were like. There was no hesitation, no distance, just open curiosity and warmth from strangers who had no reason to care about a foreigner sitting a few rows down. In that moment, sitting on a train that I had judged so quickly before even boarding it, I realized something. This journey wasn't going to be about the machine at all. It was going to be about the people inside it. And that's exactly what led to the moment I promised you at the start of this video. We were maybe 2 hours into the journey when the train slowed unexpectedly, and I looked out the window to see we were passing directly alongside a small village, so close I could see people's faces, kids waving at the train like it was the most exciting part of their day. And then it hit me. For those kids, this train, the one I had walked onto with low expectations, was probably the fastest, most exciting thing that passed through their world all day. Something I almost took for granted was, for them, a moment of wonder. I sat back in my seat and just watched. Not the train, not the tracks, the people are waving. And for the first time on this entire trip, I stopped comparing India's trains to China's, or Japan's, or anyone else's, because comparison was never really the point. Now let me give you the honest comparison, because I know some of you are waiting for it. In terms of raw speed and engineering, Chinese high-speed rail is still in a different category. Our stations are quieter, our boarding is faster, our trains are, on average, more punctual to the minute. But what India gave me that China's trains don't, is texture. Noise, color, unpredictability, human connection happening in real time, right in front of you. Chinese trains are efficient. Indian trains are alive. Neither one is better in every sense. They're just built for different things. One for speed and precision, one for something closer to human experience, compressed into a single carriage. So did I expect this train in India? No, not the speed, not the comfort, not the food, and definitely not the people. I came in with assumptions built from what I'd heard, not what I'd seen. And almost every one of those assumptions was challenged, section by section, mile by mile. If there's one thing I'll take from this journey, it's this. Sometimes the most unexpected experiences come from the places you were most confident you had already figured out. If you've ridden an Indian train yourself, or a Chinese one, I want to know, what surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.